Hi there, this is Timothy Dolan. I am a resident of Ashland, Oregon, and recently back, 4 weeks back now, roughly, from being in Kurdistan, northern Iraq, where I was a member of the faculty at the American University of Kurdistan. During my time there, I had the opportunity to visit a couple of refugee camps. These are refugee camps specifically created for the Yazidi refugees. The Yazidis are a religious minority in northern Iraq. They are Kurdish in culture. They are Kurdish in their language. It's their religious beliefs that are distinctive. I won't go into the fine points of their theology. It's not really the point. The camps themselves are the result of these Yazidis having to flee ISIS, Islamic State extremists, who found that their religious community contradicted their religious beliefs and made them ripe for slaughter, and for their women to be taken as sex slaves. This was a blip in CNN coverage back in 2014. The problem is not entirely gone away. The Yazidis, some 400 to 500,000 in number, are still living in camps, and they cannot go back to their home areas in northern Iraq, largely because of the political aspirations of Iran, the Shiite powers that be in Baghdad, and Syria, where there is an agenda to build, in essence, a Shiite corridor to Syria. This is the way of the world in the Middle East. The Yazidis are in the way. So while they were in camps that were intended to hold them for roughly 6 months, they are now into their 5th year of being in these camps. Optimally, the United States would intervene not to bring refugees to our shores, but simply to provide them with sufficient security so that they can return to their home areas and return to a life that they've lived for about a millennia now, well over a millennia. Anyway, I'd contacted our Congressman, that's Representative Greg Walden. He's a Republican. He serves our southern Oregon community, and his district stretches well into most of eastern Oregon. He's probably the last remaining Republican congressional representative in Oregon. I had just this opportunity to visit his office. I happened to be in Medford, Oregon, a few miles away, getting an oil change, and came across his district office in that city. So I just popped in to pay a visit, connect with a staff member who ran the office, where I voiced these concerns. I did not at that point know if Representative Walden was involved with any foreign affairs committees. Turned out that his primary committee status is as ranking member on the Energy and Commerce committees. So while northern Iraq has plenty of oil, he doesn't appear to have a foreign policy bent that would provide a reasonable voice to help get this message across. So having learned that, I really made a request through the staffer to make contact with people who would be on relevant committees so that I could give them the story, things that I've learned, both from first-hand observation and also from consultation with colleagues who are experts in Kurdistan and who know the area far, far better than probably any congressperson does. So I gave this story. I spent quite a few minutes, and the staffer was very helpful in that they were attentive. They took many notes. It was only 2 weeks after I had contacted the office that I'd gotten a response. It was an email response from Greg Walden's office. I'm going to read the response to you. It says, "Dear Timothy, thank you for taking the time to contact me to share your concerns about the preservation of Palestinian villages." There we go. You may be relieved to know that Israel's Security Cabinet granted an extension of the timetable for negotiating an agreement between the government and village residents. Completely irrelevant. I had never mentioned Palestinians. It was not the point of my visit. I think that's clear enough. Back to his response. As you know, Congress plays a significant role in U.S. policy toward the Palestinians. I would disagree with that. Jared Kushner is the only person of any weight at this point in American foreign policy towards Palestinians. Back to the quote, which is marked by efforts to facilitate negotiated solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, to counter Palestinian terrorist groups, and to establish norms of democracy, accountability, and good governance. Since 1993, Congress has appropriated more than $5 billion in bilateral assistance to the Palestinians. Congress has regularly appropriated millions of dollars of additional annual non-lethal security and justice sector assistance for the Palestinian Authority. Additionally, the United States remains the strongest single state donor to the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees in the Near East. Implementing U.S. bilateral assistance programs for the West Bank and Gaza, and making UNRWA, that's the Palestinian Refugee Near East Organization, contributions routinely present challenges due to regional political uncertainty, ongoing Israeli-Palestinian disputes, concerns over the composition and behavior of the Palestinian Authority government, and concerns that might be diverted to Palestinian terrorist groups. Thanks for reaching out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the staffer got it wrong, or somewhere in the chain the message was woefully misinterpreted, and so I got a response about Palestinians and not about Yazidi refugees. I'm not going to lay blame for this. It's not my place, other than this is a reflection, in my view, of the low level of consciousness on the part of our congressman to international affairs. Maybe not his fault, not too many area experts out there, I totally get it. But for goodness sake, don't lie to us. The Palestinian Authority no longer receives any U.S. assistance. We know this. It's been in the papers, Representative Walden. So don't lie to us about the United States being the top donor to the Palestinians. Not anymore. That aside, that fact check aside, I still hope that we might be able to collaborate, or at least that you might be able to provide a referral to an appropriate contact regarding the Yazidis and their security concerns, because at this point they're going to be in these camps another generation. They simply cannot go home. That's the preferred outcome. I believe everybody would be in agreement. There are other issues that I could bring to the attention of Congress on this matter. As I said, I was on the ground. I was directly involved. I've been in the camps. I know what's being done and what is not being done. And the United States is sadly lacking in any kind of humanitarian assistance, particularly at the government level. There are many reasons for this. It's a complicated issue. I understand that. It goes beyond what can be transmitted through a YouTube video. But Representative Walden, I'm appealing to you to provide a suitable contact on this issue. I would prefer that it be somebody without a political agenda, who is clear-eyed and open-minded to solutions to what is an ongoing humanitarian crisis, and one that reflects very badly on the United States. Thank you very much.